Good evening for everybody. I am the small scale, actually. I have just 3.1 hectares. Actually, I'm just running with vegetables and then an orchard. So no other crops and big scale things. So my way is gardening with nature. And then it means for me that there is no soil rotation at all. Soil is always covered with mulch. It can be living mulch, just plants, and then it can be organic mulch from different organic waste. And we use the soil at the rate of renewal. The soil is alive, the soil is renewed. We doesn't use artificial fertilizer and even manure, which not turned into the soil. Mulch and the dead bodies of living organism ensure the cycle and gives the nutrients. Eliminate or minimizes water use. There is no weed control, no weeding at all. Plant protection is based on ecological regulation, strives for diversity, doesn't use chemicals, doesn't protect plants at all, based on succession instead of annual gardening. So if we see the challenges today, of course, it's obvious there's the climate change, and it means unpredictability, water shortage, hot days, warming, strong ultraviolet radiation, high daily temperature fluctuations, and so forth. I think you are aware. Okay, I just continue type of mulches. So it's not me, of course, who discovered the mulch. There's many type of mulches. And then, it's just for soil covering. It can be organic or inorganic layer, and then it's mostly applied to retain moisture, suppress weeds, and regulate temperature. What I am doing is also made with this function, but my mulch is the main function is to regenerate the soil. So these are the usual way of using biodegradable types of mulch. That's wood chips, bark, shredded hardwood, straw and hay, leaves and grass clippings, and then compost. What I am doing is something is different. But first, I just talk about what makes soil good in my eyes. So my idea was let's follow the nature example, because nature shows us in the autumn time that it's covering the soil with organic matter, the leaves and other organic litters. We need a great variety of the vegetation with a diverse root system, because this diverse root system will create a rich soil life, as the different kind of vegetables or plants colonizing different type of microbes. So at the end, you will get the rich soil life. Why it is good to cover the soil? I think it's very obvious that we prevent erosion, the compaction, the nutrient leaching, the weed growth, evens out temperature fluctuation, absorbs precipitation and protects against drying, and then the soil is renewed. And then what is the most important and then attractive in this method, that you do not need to dig, you do not need to use the hoe, the weeding. It's not necessary. Watering, it's sometimes not true, even today. And you do not need to use fertilizer, even not animal dung. And then protect plants with chemicals also neglected. So my mulch type is called deep mulch. It's a compost-ready mulch. The particularity, this is very deep, it's 50, 60 centimeter, and then it is established for the winter time. This was the first year, 26 years ago, when I covered my soil with this deep mulch. I tried to do my gardening in this property for 2 years with the usual method, but because it was a clay soil, I had no any good result actually. So I had horses in that time, so I used a stable litter for the mulch. As far as I mentioned, this is 50, 60 centimeters thick. And then this is a mulch for the winter time. I know that this type of mulch is not very much suggested by the mulchers, but I like new experiments, so I did not care this. They do not prefer the winter mulches, saying that the so-called pest will survive just under the mulch. And then the other argument is that you will not reach the appropriate temperature of the soil in the springtime, because it prevents the sunshine to reach the soil. So this mulch is perfect to meet with the conditions for composting. There is no soil turning, digging. The soil is loosened by the life in the soil. And then this is the point why we use this for the winter time, because soil life partly active in the winter time in the soil under this quite warm March. And then because their movements, they will loosen their soil actually. Of course, this have to fit to the composting conditions, which are the water and oxygen, the appropriate particle size, and then I use the 30:1 carbonium nitrogen ratio. There are 3 material groups available, which is carbon-rich and then the nitrogen-rich raw materials, and then some is optimal. Like I used this litter just from the stable by the horses, and then it's a very good carbonium nitrogen ratio actually. But if you do not have this optimal material, you have to mix, of course, the carbon-rich and nitrogen-rich materials together. So mulch increasing the biodiversity in the garden, because it attracts a lot of things, not only the microbes. And the purpose of this increasing biodiversity, of course, is the ecological self-regulation. I think the real value of my garden is that, because I do not use spraying or biological plant protection or any type of this, except one. I will tell you about some words about it. We are using a different way of composting as it is usual. We call it biodiversity-friendly composting. We do not use these frames or plastic boxes and these kind of things. We just use this prism, and then we create this cubic meter by cubic meter. Actually, it's quite long, and then of course we do not turn it around, give oxygen or water. Just we let it, we let work nature here, and then it attracts a lot of predatory insects. So the main reason to create this is not just to get compost and use just for the soil, but even the logic of this is to enhance biodiversity, particularly attract predatory insects, who will, of course, help you in the whole garden, not only here in the compost. And then the mulch attracts life. There's many insects, and it's a lot of things. Probably someone will say that it also attracts the snail, which is not very true. But and then, of course, many saprophytes in the mulch, which is, of course, coming from the fact that they are doing the decomposing work in the mulch. So I mentioned that I do just one arrangement for plant protection, and then it is the special plant patterns in the garden. What I am saying is the perfect order is the chaos. Actually, when I started with gardening, I just established this usual way of rows. But today, I am saying that if two plants are next to each other, it is a monoculture. So I finished actually to establish these beds and rows things, and I established the chaos garden. And then this is some pictures about this chaotic garden. Actually, it's like globalization, everything everywhere. Just some pictures about this lot of my garden. Okay, so what is the outcome? So I had a very compacted, heavy clay soil, and this picture made after 16 years of mulching. And as you see, there are three levels of the soil here. One is the humus-rich soil, which is created from mulching. And then the bottom, you can see the original clay. And then after the two levels, you will see how it is changed. Actually, this clay mixed with the humus as well. So the soil is very rich and then can produce a lot of things for you, and the big volume actually. I just had these carrots from the soil directly. I do not select them actually. So this type of big production and crops available from this method actually. So I produce all kind of vegetables. Not a big volume because I am not selling things. I'm particularly a self-supplier. But my main interest is how to regenerate the soil and then how to produce healthy food for the people. And then I am interested in to teach this method. And then I would say that there is a big interest about this method in Hungary as well. So thank you for your attention.